right, we are live. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Nice.
All right. So what we are focusing on today is there we go. Streamlabs give me a scare.
Oh yeah.
What we're focusing
People.
on today is going to be,
Yeah.
like you were saying, a lot of primarily defensive stuff. When, like you were telling me that when characters that are rushing you down that can decide to engage on your shield, it becomes a very difficult thing to deal with.
Yeah.
So I think the plan is going to be, my spacies are bad, which is kind of good for this purpose. The plan is going to be to play a little bit, and then I'm going to intentionally try to put you in those situations as much as possible. And then after a few games, we can hop into either training or just like explicitly look at those outside of the context of a match where everything is going really fast, and kind of break down your Wario's options, the universal options, and how to kind of reestablish your tempo, like you were saying.
Yeah.
All
The tempo
right.
is a big thing for me. Like, just getting overwhelmed by like all the options or like all the moves that they throw out. Just like it just feels bad, you know.
Mm-hmm. And that's just a thing about these kinds of characters. At every level of play, especially as you're like someone else who plays a floaty who kind of has to just deal with it sometimes. I feel you.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go
I would
ahead.
like to get some games in against your Mewtwo too, because we played a couple of them, and it was pretty good. I mean, you destroyed me, but you know. Oh shit. Not a good start.
That's all good. That's a little bit of a greedy edge guard.
Yeah, I definitely just went for the greed play there. Um, Not a very good showing so far.
It's all good.
That's why I'm here though, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Surprised I hit you.
What is happening?
Yeah, that was rough. It might not like it that like your internet might not like it that you're streaming and we're playing like halfway across the country.
It's usually fine about that kind of thing. Not great, because that's still a big ask a lot of the time, but it's been worse.
Or didn't have a jump.
Yeah, some of
All
those
right.
longer edgeguard sequences can be kind of tricky to remember because there's so much time that elapses between you landing at high percent.
Yeah. The first game was a warm up.
Oh no, the frames! Oh no, not that one. Didn't we get that in our test friendly session the other day?
I think so. Maybe. Oh. I didn't get the angle. I went over you. That's so upsetting.
Yeah. You might have been able to get the kill without Waft there, but I don't think burning Waft is the end of the world.
Just wanted to confirm it. I mean, it definitely was a waste of a waft. You were at like 130, but like, I don't know. I've had this problem where like, I just end up blinking like an asshole for the entire game, and I save my waft for next game.
Yeah, you know, it carries between games.
Yeah.
No, I kind of meant to do that too. Damn. No, I didn't think you called me out of the weight. All right, let's do one more, then talk about some Fox stuff.
Okay.
Because a lot of the fast characters pressure very differently, but there's some base stuff that is the same because they're fast.
And I think as someone who has not played a ton of Melee, I definitely have more trouble with the Fox matchup than the average player.
Yeah, it's if you come from regions with either Melee players because you played a long time ago and that was a little more common, or it's because there's just certain players that play Fox, it becomes a lot easier. That covers most of the options. That's a good call there. Character jumps so high.
Oh, I didn't have a jump.
It's fine. I earned it because I hit you last. It's like
That's
Jenga.
true, yeah.
Get me out of here.
I also have trouble like getting that like that angle of up B.
No. I love the death screens.
Yeah, they're great. I'm very much looking forward to the death screams in multiverses.
Oh.
The Tom and Jerry sound, dude, is gonna go so hard.
Hell yeah. All right, so let's go to FT for now, real quick.
Okay.
So something you're doing a lot is your primary defensive option. It's not a bad deal a lot of the time, which is kind of, especially as Wario, you're kind of like a heavier, floatier character, is you'll be doing either CC grab or like shield grab as a big out of like option defensively to kind of, it's good because it enforces that like, oh, if I'm doing drill shine, right, I have to be doing it good.
Yeah.
If I'm slow, then I don't get much. But even if Wario's heavy and the throw, let's say the throw follow-ups are hard, you know, up throw isn't quite as guaranteed as a lot of the cast. It is still like you need to have other tools as well.
Yeah.
Because then the pressure becomes, oh, I'll drill you, and then like cross you up.
Yeah.
Additionally, you don't do a lot of like challenging the initial approach, which Wario actually has not a bad time with, because he has maybe not the most range in the world, but Fair's got a lot of active frames. Up Smash has a lot of active frames.
Yeah.
Up B's not a great way to do it, but it is an option. Like Up B out of shield, so if I'm doing like, it's more pronounced against like Falco, because Fox can just do, I can't, but Fox can do just. I can't short hop with my trigger jump. Fox can do Shine Drill, and that'll not beat every out of shield option, but it's like it can. Oh my lord, I'm awful at this. It can contest it. Versus that mix-up of like, for stronger hits that don't lead into stuff like Drill does, it has to be like, oh, shine into like, oh, shine a late nair, or is it shine the early nair to catch something? It's a timing thing at that point.
Yeah.
That's all for once you've kind of committed to shielding or not moving though. If you're going to, you're eventually going to like need to intercept. So if Fox is just, you know, short hop nairing at you, then you do need to like hit him out of that at some point, or convince him that that is a bad idea. For some characters, run up shield can be good for that. Especially for like the taller characters, you can enforce the shield early. That doesn't mess up L cancel timings, but it messes up like, oh, if I've decided to, you know, nair shine, and my nair hits early, then that might mess up the shine timing. Nice. I think your choice of, I don't dig the choice of Bear there, because it's active for so much less time than the nair. But,
oh yeah, the nair would just like chopping you with the nair, or like clipping you with the nair would just kill you.
Yeah. Anything off stage, Wario nair is probably going to kill the space, or anybody fast enough to threaten you on stage at time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nasty. So let's say if I'm just shuffle nairing at you, a lot of your options are to get a hitbox out there so I run into it. So like nair, fair both work. Up smash if you're really committed. That's more for like Falco style characters that like land on you, like Falcon Stomp or Falco Dare.
Yeah.
Or like if someone's full hop drilling. So let's see if I shine your shield here, and then I full hop drill you. If you up smash out of shield right after the shine, that can work.
My shield's gonna break.
Yeah.
Might as well.
You kind of have to have it keyed in and be ready for it. But the up smash hitboxes can contest this kind of like, oh, I'm a vertically tall character, and now I can kind of jump on you. Worth.
Yeah.
You saw that laser though? Good stall.
Yeah. Getting better with like using waft like more often, you know? Not even that it's like not even more often. More so just like using half waft more appropriately. You know? That's a big thing that I started to do that has definitely helped my play, but I just need to remember to do it, you know?
Yep. Waft is a lot of power. Either to kill or to mix up your recovery. Because Wario's recovery is like it's good because he's heavy and floaty, not because the actual move is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to Falco. And his pressure's a little different, but it's the same kind of idea. You can either intercept him or deal with it out of shield. The caveat is that Falco grabs are less scary, and his horizontal threat range is tinier. So, like, compared to if Fox grabs you at 90, that could be a kill. Falco, there's more points to break out. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't make that back though. Maybe I could have, but I didn't hit the right angle. Maybe.
Yeah, I think you definitely could have made that back. Yep, that's guaranteed there. Nice.
Oh, I was expecting to get hit off.
Yeah, be a little more careful with how frequently you use bite, especially from ledge. It's not like super amazing when you go to it that much. A lot of the value of it is that it's unexpected.
Hmm.
No! I saw the orange glow, I'm like, it has to happen now. Away from me! That's fine. I feel like we're both happy with that.
I'm not very happy with that. I wasted waft.
You hit me with it, you got the damage.
Yeah, I guess. Oh.
Yeah, that caught you on the defensive grab there.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of kind of experience to get used to, but there's a lot of, it's based on the matchup. There are some characters and percents where you can kind of just do that. Because the reward is very high, and if they hit you out of it, it's like a so what thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's say like Ivysaur, right? If she's running at you and you're going to grab because your grab is faster than hers and you're expecting something you can CC, well, her anti-CC options from there, if she's already running at you, are not super great. So the risk you take is getting hit by, like, dash attack. And maybe that puts you into a knockdown at 30. Versus the reward of getting the grab, maybe they're at 80. You know, or they're at, you know, there's some kind of reward for you there that is greater than the risk. But as an overall thing, it needs to be kind of an informed decision and not a habit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here, let me do one more with Falco. My Falco's better than my Fox only by virtue of the fact that I'm not expected to press as many buttons.
Hmm.
Air dodging out of like low percent strings is not super risky for Wario because his air acceleration is really high. So even when you have to like start your drift anew,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. No! But Falco's
No.
at fire.
Yeah, no fire hitbox. I tried to get the up B out to armor through it, but didn't work.
Does up B have armor?
Well, it has priority.
That's what do you mean by that?
I don't know. Like it just seems like it goes through a lot. It doesn't get stopped by a lot. Like try. I guess we can do it after this one, but
That'd be like an interaction of like hitboxes. It's not like an attribute of a move directly, if that makes sense.
I thought there was like a whole priority thing. I don't know. Like someone mentioned that in like a video or something.
No, the only way priority works is for like there's moves that have sour spots and sweet spots. No, that was down smash. There's a thing in the code, be like, oh, Marth down air. If both the sour spot and the sweet spot hit, then for Marth down air, it's the sweet spot. For Marth forward smash, it's the sour spot. Get out of here.
Dude, the forward air. I should have. If I didn't jab, then I wouldn't have been able to hit that. But oh yeah, see, didn't even work.
Yeah. So let me see. Who's a good example for this? I guess Marth. So priority is a term that kind of used to get thrown around a lot, with the implication being that like, oh, if up B and Marth down air interact, Marth down air wins. The kind of faulty assumption is that because it's not because there's like a specific attribute of Marth down air that says, oh, this beats moves like Wario up B. It's because Marth down air is the sword, and in most of the interactions, like, well, you can never hit the sword. It doesn't have a hurt box on it. Versus Wario up B does because it's him. So
Yeah.
a lot of the times, the majority of the time, a disjointed hitbox where you can't hit it will just flat out beat Wario.
Gotcha.
The reason that Wario sometimes seems to win a lot is because with his up B, he kind of like rises a little faster. It's kind of like Marth's in that sense, where it's like, let me see if I can get the pause where there's the sword trail. The sword is the hitbox, right? You can hit his hand. Even though that's not like impossible to hit, the fact that Marth can do it and it's on his timing, not the defender's, that makes this really hard to directly intercept by hitting the hand.
I think this might help your explanation
here.
here.
There. So yeah, the sour spots are the weird torso hitbox he apparently has, and then his like elbow, and probably the hilt as well. So if that little Venn diagram of the outermost two hitboxes, if that happens, for Marth forward smash we get the sour spot. Versus Marth down air, it's a little different. I believe it's at least the outermost two. So the sweet spot's the outermost, the sour spot's the hilt, the next one. If those overlap, the sour spot takes priority for that, and I believe it's also up air. And that's just a flag on the move itself. Like if you up B and then pause, we can see the frame by frame. There's no like unique property. Wario can be hit. There's no like armor or anything on that. He'd be glowing a different color if he had armor directly.
Yeah.
So it's just
but it is like a little bit above his hand.
Exactly, yeah. It's just a very good hitbox. So he can be hit, but you have to deal with the hitbox.
Yeah, like the only part that he can get hit by, like we can even take this one step further. Like he's completely covered by it.
Right. You still can be hit in that though. It just results in a trade. So go ahead and up. How are we doing this? Go ahead and up you when I'm above you.
Yep.
I'm trying to time this. That's actually a good example. So I don't think this counter hits because you're going too high. Oh, perfect.
Oh, it hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Because hitboxes don't care about other hitboxes unless they're grounded. The only way it moves clank is if they're if it's a grounded move.
Okay.
So in the air, like if two Marths can fair each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the way that happens is the hitboxes hit the hand, that little outstretched yellow thing.
Yeah.
So that's all that is. Like if two Marths fair each other, or two Falcons nair each other, it's just the hitboxes hitting the hurt boxes. Because there's no clanking in the air. Whereas on the ground, if you have two hitboxes colliding and they don't hit a hurt box, they might clank if they're close enough in percent. Or it's consistent, but if it's within 9% of each other. Here, I'll do jab when wind up your F tilt. Oh, I see. See there? That clanked, and because your F smash did more than 9% difference, it just kept going.
Okay.
With aerial moves, they can't clank. So if you charge your F smash again,
God, this is a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah. But even if this fair... Here, let's try it a few more times.
Yeah.
Actually, it's probably easier. You use your nair, because your nair has a lot of active frames. So I'll charge my F smash, and then you nair into it.
Yeah.
Let's see if this... You actually ended up hitting me first. That's... Maybe... Okay. So here, this hitbox hit your hurt box, and your hitbox is not hit my hurt box, so therefore move wins.
Yeah. Okay.
There's not like a priority system of any kind. Some games, especially 2D fighters, will have like, oh, the anti-air moves are just full-on invulnerable to airborne attacks. But that's not the way that Smash works. At least PM and Melee. Honestly, I don't know. I've not kept up with ult mechanics, so who knows?
Yeah.
But it's... Sour? Okay. Okay, how do we turn this off? We're invisible on Angel. That's funny. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of how people used to call it priority, because that's kind of what it feels like. Like, especially since Smash is so like variable. When something is consistent, it feels like, oh, this must just always work that way. Like, oh, up tilt always beats Falco Dare, or vice versa. But there's a lot more factors that go into it. Okay. Let's go ahead and... There's Falco. My wolf is atrocious. Try a little Falcon. We're making good time still. Great. Okay. Falcon is a very different counter pressure from Falco, and even from Fox, in that he's a very, like, hit and run.
Yeah, he's gonna run in, like, either try and, like, get a stray hit and try and take the stock off of it, or just, like, like exactly like that, you're just trying to find a stray hit and then take a stock. I mean, that's how at least I feel like Falcon plays.
Yeah, it's a lot scarier to jump against Falcon for that reason. one exception to the priority thing. Grab armor is in the game. So
yeah, grab armor.
That is a genuine priority thing.
Yeah, that counts for, like, my command grab, right?
I believe so. I believe I've seen Wario bite kind of command armor, not command armor, work that way. It's when a character is being hit, but also grabbing their opponent on the same frame. So I don't see why that wouldn't apply to your command grab. Oh, you missed that.
I did. Execution test. Oh, now you're taunt can.
Oh, I always yes knee. I used to play Falcon. This was my job. Yes knee. No.
Do you rebind taunt key?
Yeah, I have. I use X to jump, so I have Y on yes. Or sorry, on
okay.
On.
Gotcha. On yes. If I ever get saucy enough to do that with the Wario down air, then I'll be happy with myself. Alright.
Let's go.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna hit me, and I was gonna attack, and I was gonna feel good. The dopamine inhibitors were gonna go away once I hit that stage. But yeah, it's usually a lot safer to grab against Falcon because, like, no shine, even with a good jab, no shine hurts. It's also easier to see when he's hitting very high on your shield with a down air. Ooh, nice. What is happening? No! You're doing a pretty good job of, like, sniping the recoveries.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting better with that.
Oh my god, it's just full on. Just running, man.
Yeah. Falcon, I will say, is probably one of the characters I like playing the least. Or like playing against the least. I don't know, Falcon has become one of my least favorite characters in all of Smash, just because, like, it feels like in every game he's the same thing, you know, looking for stomp knee, you know, or like combos are pretty similar between every game, which is not the same for like basically any character. And I don't know, I think he's just like fake hype, you know what I mean?
I see what you mean about fake hype, and that's a fair thing when, like, this exists. I'm bad, but it does exist. I'm using the wrong throw, I think, here. We'll just...
I meant to be a falling bite, but I guess it worked out.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Talk about on stage. Are you gonna reach me, little Wario man? Running?
Yeah, my little stubby arms.
Your small feet.
Dude has no thighs. He is all calf. Maybe he's all thigh, no calf.
I don't like this. I don't like either of these worlds you've created. Die.
You ever see that? That edit of Wario without teeth?
Oh yeah, Warchamp posted it the other day.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
Good lord. Yeah, you're right. Let's go. It's a meteor.
Yeah, but like I went for the down air there, and then it like you clipped me with it, you know. But
yeah, the side B hit you before the down air became active.
If you want to play whoever now, I'm good to just play some friendlies.
Okay, I think I'll probably go to Mewtwo for a little while. Because Mewtwo has some of those same situations as those faster characters, but the opportunities to intercept him are a lot more broad. Because then hover and airing, it's like, oh, that was kind of a whiff punish, like you missed something. So then it was like, I had the action ability, like, you couldn't, it would take you X frames to move. So you couldn't, like, effectively contest, like, the hover and air at the beginning. Let's go, platform. Nope.
I remember when I first started playing, there was a Mewtwo that I played with a lot, who would do the PS2 haha funny thing with the side B.
Oh, the melee thing, yeah.
Yeah.
No! I just kidding. Mewtwo gets to cheat on that specific interaction. Ah, nice.
I don't know why I didn't just turn around and bite there. Would have worked.
Yep. A lot of the times, it's easy to kind of like... You have to consciously recognize what percent your opponent's at, and realize what options are good and what options are bad. Like, especially...
Can you hear me chewing by any chance? I've just been kind of...
not at all, no.
Alright, cool. I've just been kind of munching on some apples.
Another really common example of percent, or of like looking at the opponent's percent, is like you were using, not only were you like not grabbing when I was at low percent in that instance we were talking about, but you were also still using the moves that are like that can be CC'd. Like there, you can't fall with Bear when I'm a 0 on the ground. Like, it's just a little too laggy. Now you have the second hit, but...
So, I think what would help me, like, what would help me with that point specifically is, like, knowing what moves to do in that situation. Because, like you said, Nair, that kind of makes sense. And, like, grab as well. Like, I mean, if I'm falling, then I have to go with the Nair, but, like...
You could simply just not do anything. You don't have to press a button there.
I just don't engage. If you're just sitting there crouching.
Yeah, because a lot of the times when someone's waiting to CC, they're waiting to get hit. So if they don't get hit, they don't do the thing. Oh no, that's not ledge.
Was I dead there, or did I just DI that poorly?
You probably could have lived. So for Mewtwo throws, you basically, there's no mix-up. You want to just DI away from him, and then on back throw, you're heavy enough to where, especially given the situation, like I'm probably going to throw you off stage, especially at high percent with back throw. So it can be one of those things like, you can know that this is probably coming. Let's go stomp me. It's just stomp me, but on a floaty, so it's cool.
Yeah, and he's got a big tail, and he's like a boss character.
Kind of is like a boss character, yeah. He does kind of break a lot of the rules.
My God.
He's just so cheaty.
I think I saw a Twitter clip of someone like a Mewtwo that someone posted, and they said boss character energy. That's where I got that from.
He kind of does.
And like, he really is a boss character.
Yeah, most regions don't have one, so you don't know the matchup. So when you get a knockdown, especially at low percent, like when I CC'd your up smash there, you don't get your launcher, and I do still get hit, but you get the knockdown. A lot of the times your options to hit me seem kind of panicky.
Yeah, I definitely panic a lot playing this game. I'm just like trying to throw out some hitboxes and hope something works, you know?
Yeah, I feel ya. It's a lot to take in. Like I think I had mentioned, when you're trying to figure, like it's one thing if it's a matchup like a Ditto or a matchup you're really familiar with where it's like, oh, Wario grabbed me near the edge, he's gonna down throw me. My options are A, B, or C. Versus like, oh, Charizard grabbed me. What does Charizard do? What do I do to do what Charizard does? Were those Twitter clips realistic or was those just Kais being like insane?
Yeah.
Oh, I got back throw a ferret at 80, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And now you're on the next dock like, well, I still don't really know the answer to that, right? It can be kind of overwhelming. And because of that, the game can seem a lot faster and more chaotic than it kind of actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Get me out of here. Whereas situations like that...
Not what I meant to do.
Yeah, I feel you. Or situations like, let's say you throw the Spacey off stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
With time and with practice, that becomes a situation that you are familiar with. And it isn't like as panicky anymore. So you know that like, oh, my option, if I do A, that'll be B.
I don't know how that happened. So when I see you naring at me, is my only option really to just kind of wait it out until I can do something, or like?
Oh no, Mewtwo Nair it's disjointed, but it's not big. Wario might have not the easiest time with it, but like your Nair and your even your forward air can definitely contest it, and it's a good trade for you because it's like.
I mean, yeah, it kind of just traded there.
Right, and you get more percent, you get more knockback. Oh no.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't ready, but I mean, I wasn't making it back with just an up B, so.
Yeah. So when Mewtwo's naring, like hovering at you, the hitboxes are only really on the four corners. Actually, could you turn debug? I don't know the commands, but if you could turn hitboxes on, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's LR down.
LR down
on the D-pad.
Great.
Oh yeah,
so
it's really not that big.
Yeah, and then the landing hitbox, or the final hitbox, if he's not hovering, it happens on landing as well. That's actually kind of large.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we traded. Otherwise, those are actually really small and easy to contest until the big one.
Yeah.
It's not the same case with his tail moves. Because you can see he only has teeny little hurt boxes to help with Z-axis stuff, I guess. And when he's using those tail moves, those hurt boxes are like not in the Z-axis, but it's still, you need to get past the initial tail. It's like a half sword almost, is a way that I remember a lot of Mewtwo's and a lot of people playing against Mewtwo seem to like categorizing it.
Okay.
So like the very bulb there, the tip, that's just a sword. But then from there on, the further down the tail you get, it's like, okay, this is, now it becomes just a hitbox with a hurt box inside. So that can be difficult to challenge, but Mewtwo's horizontal speed is not that fast. Like, even his run, not great. His dash attack, almost the exact same speed as his run. So to actually oppress you, he needs to be like doing this with the commitment already by moving forward. And here's basically kind of how you take space. The way you take space with the slower, floatier characters is, especially when they have tools for like defending themselves, like Wario's aerial drift is a really good tool to do fadeaway fairs. It's really hard to directly contest that, even though the hitbox is so tiny. Because it's hard, you gotta chase him down. So the way that you can kind of take space slowly and steadily, especially if you need like a little second to kind of realize, okay, what does Mewtwo do? What does Charizard actually doing? Yeah, is you can kind of like approach and then drift back slightly. It's this little low risk, low reward. That requires more of a call out to actually hit. And at that point, now you realize, oh, they've hit me like cleanly for this. They just knew where I was going to be. And that gives you a little information on like, oh, well, if they knew where I was going to be and they chose like this move, that means that that's the move I need to watch out for when I'm in short hop range, right? When I'm doing my short hop approaches, I need to be aware that if I DI this away at high percent, for instance, I might just die. Like, or I need to DI this away at medium percent or else I get comboed. You know, once you're able to recognize what you're getting hit by and recognize, oh, the reason that they're hitting me with this move is because ABC, then that helps you kind of like begin to play the game with full knowledge as opposed to, I don't know what Zardos. What's a Squirtle? Right?
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing, like, let's say you were going for the kill confirm, or for a kill confirm when I'm at like 80. Let's say you had Waft. You might be going for a lot of those sour up airs.
Yeah.
So what that might tell me, if I see you going for it like 2 or 3 times, is maybe I should be contesting this more. You know, holding my space a little more rather than approaching. Or, you know, be CCing the sour up airs. Or be, maybe, oh, I can, that sour up air requires it to be a late attack. So maybe I can, like, even if it's not a great move, I can just hit you on the way in.
Yeah, just like that.
Right. I don't need to find the best answer in the world. I just need to find, because when you take it, like, because on paper, this move's really good.
Yeah.
And especially when you can hover cancel it. Oh my god, I don't know if I have to press down and start for this. Like this, into like 5 frames lag into moving again, really, really good. But that means that the Mewtwo, for example, the Mewtwo has to like not really heavily commit to changing direction. So they're not going to be like Falcon speed doing this. So that, even if it's hard to get around, that informs you like, oh, I think that the Mewtwo player is going to be, you know, I did a really bad one, but here. So then maybe I pressure them with, you know, I force them to shield with Dacus, or maybe even side B, or I, you know, force them to move with Bite. Even if you can't get your guaranteed, like, if you can't guaranteed punish this, you can kind of like take a turn, as it were, if that makes sense. And for this specific move especially, it can be really hard. But the good news is, the harder it is to, let's say, for instance, this up air. Harder it is to get around this up air, the more likely I'm not really sure what to do when you get around it. Like, I don't, like, if all I do is frame 8 jab, and this is my anti-air, I'm going to know what to do when you get around it, because it almost will never work. It's awful for its purpose. And I'll be experienced, I won't even be doing it, but I'll be like, oh, my jab missed, I should shield, right? Or, oh, my jab missed, time to dash back, or go to ledge, or something, right? There's no pivots. There we go. But, the better the move is, like, if you can interrupt a Fox, like, shuffle nair, then they have to spend a little more energy to figure out how to get around you interrupting their stuff. Because that's such a core component of their gameplay. Like, the same kind of thing with this. Mewtwo's love doing this because it's really good. If you get around it, they have to figure out what else to do. Same thing with Wario. Like, if I can consistently anti-air you, you gotta figure something else out, dude.
Yeah.
And that takes, especially during a match, that takes a lot of, like, energy.
I've definitely had, like, that adaptation, like, I'm just not there yet as, like, a player, but I think I'll get there eventually, but, like, it's just hard to realize what you need to do on the fly, you know?
Yeah.
And especially in this game, where everyone's played, like, the Wario matchup, like, 30,000 times, because everyone's been playing for 10 years. It's a little rough as a newer player, but, you know, obviously, like, newer players are still doing pretty well. But, I don't know. Everyone learns at a different speed.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't and it is kind of just like a fact, and I don't want to pass it off as like, oh, this shouldn't be a factor. Because it is kind of like, oh, you know, people have been playing this game for a hot minute. There's a lot of, like, foreknowledge already. But the good news is people haven't been playing against Wario for 30 years, or for 10 years. They've been playing against 40, like, well, depending on the patch, but like 30 some odd to 41 characters for 10 years.
Well, yeah.
So it's all divided up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure more people, or some people, have more experience against other characters than others, you know. But like, it's just like playing this game for 10 years, like I don't know. There's just like a lot of the price on that, like, really can't be valued. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is definitely a big advantage. That's 10 years of like knowledge of just like being comfortable with the engine.
Muscle memory too.
Muscle memory, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And even a lot of like tiny things, like as an example, like the priority system, like that not really being a thing in Smash. Or hey, did you know you can land can't if you land during Zelda's neutral B in the air, you're actionable like immediately? That's an important thing in the Zelda matchup that you only know if you played the Zelda matchup or Zelda.
Yeah.
Do you know how to edgeguard Link's bomb recoveries? How about Tink's bomb recoveries? How are they different? Like, there's every single character has a ton of stuff like this. Like, how does Pikachu Quick Attack work? Quick Attack cancel. How does Wario like bite work? How is it a DI mix up on Yoshi weight, on Zelda weight? What about kill percent? You know, like.
Yeah, all that stuff is like completely over my head. I'm just like bite waft confirms, right?
The
yeah.
B moves.
50-50, right?
Yeah. And it's great because this game is great because you don't need to know like, oh, what is the optimal DI for DDD up throw as Meta Knight at 5? It's like it's variable, right? Like Meta Knight, you can use your experiences with other characters. So if you're getting Wario up throw on Wolf at 20 on FD, Falco at 20 is probably really similar.
Yeah.
Falcon at 20 might be a little different, but you know, you have a base to work from.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the edge guards. Like you were getting some sick edge guards when I was playing the Spacies. And that applies to Falcon. That applies to Ganondorf. That applies to characters with straightforward recoveries. Like even Mario to an extent. Just going out there and putting a hitbox out there before he can up B.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something I've struggled with in the past and I've gotten a lot better with. So I'm glad that I guess it's kind of paying off, but
yeah, I mean, you can't go back 10 years in time and be like, hey, yo, me, this game's sick, play it.
I should be able to.
That's the, what's that joke? Girls with a time machine, like, oh, I'm your daughter. Oh my god. Boys with a time machines, like, hey,
Play
bro,
PM.
Project M is really cool.
I played this game like a couple times. Like I saw like the 3.6 trailer, I think, or the 3.5 trailer, and I downloaded it, put it on my Wii. This was like, I think 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I was still in high school at the time.
God, my bones, they're crunching.
I played it on my Wii for like an hour or so, and it was really cool. And then I never played it again. And then I went to college. I saw someone playing it on near the Melee setups, and I was like, this game was pretty cool. I proceeded to get absolutely destroyed by this guy's Zelda, and then never played again. And then I saw the 2.0 trailer for P+, and I was like, let's try this again.
Hell yeah. See, I think to an extent, don't beat yourself up over like, oh, I don't have this knowledge, because it's not like a fair thing to expect.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, I definitely have a realistic outlook on this game for how long I've been playing and my like Smash knowledge as a whole. I feel like my main problem is like just getting overwhelmed, like I was saying before, just getting overwhelmed in a match and like just throwing out whatever I can to like try and combat it, and then it ends up not being the right thing and I just lose because of it. But like when I can slow the game down enough in my own head to where like I can recognize what's going on, then I feel like I'm in a good spot.
Yeah, that comes across really strongly when you grab me and throw me off stage, especially because you're in control of that situation, and it's a situation you're very familiar with. Excuse me. Okay, let's try some dittos for just a little bit.
So I went to my first offline like real tournament like a couple weeks ago. It was the Hog Halloween tournament, and I mean it wasn't my first offline tournament ever, but like it was my first like real offline tournament, you know, because the ones I had been to were just like ones that I organized and like 3 people came.
Gotcha, like Smash Fest almost.
I guess if you want to call it that, but Um, so I go to this tournament and my pool was pretty tough. It was me, Twisty, KOE, Mikoshi, and the last guy's name is slipping my mind right now. But it was definitely an interesting pool. I sat down. My first round was against Twisty, and he picks Wario, and I pick Wario, and he goes, "Oh, so we're doing the mirror?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, we are." And I found out later from Greeley that he hates the Ditto, and like, I felt bad because like, I feel like nobody really likes their Ditto, you know? But like, what am I supposed to do? Not play this character? The only one that I'm like feel comfortable enough to play, you know?
Yeah, like that's not a thing you got to do anything about.
Exactly. It just kind of feels bad. But
Nice wiggle out of hit stun. I thought I got hit. This is such a weird matchup.
yeah, I understand why he hates the Ditto, and I also hate the Ditto, but I had to do it. Like, what am I gonna do, you know?
Yeah, your options are kind of like just play someone else or don't. And so are his. He's in control of that information as well.
Well, we played the Ditto the first game, and I think it was like it was a 3 stock, and then he switched to Meta Knight, and that like I feel like I have a lot of experience against Meta Knight. Like one of the guys I started playing with is a Meta Knight player, and then what? I thought I hit you with my up B. And then I've played like a bunch of Meta Knights on net play. But I still have trouble with that matchup. People say it's even, but I think it's definitely even once the players get closer in skill level. But all the Meta Knights I'm playing are above my skill level, so.
Yeah, and that's a kind of, not PM specific, but it happens a lot in PM, where it's like, oh, hey, I'm trying to get into the scene, trying to get into this character or the game, and it is a little bit of like, who the hell am I supposed to play? Twisty round 1? What?
Mm-hmm.
Get me out of here. I didn't think you would check me on that. It's rude.
My matchups that tournament, I mean, it was Twisty, which was Wario and Meta Knight, and then KOE, he plays Ganondorf.
Oh yeah, I know KOE.
And then Mikoshi plays Ivy. And then the last guy, I forget his name, but they played Ganondorf, and I actually won that set, which was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
I was happy to just walk away with one set win, you know.
Yeah.
especially after like so many online tournaments of just like 0-2, you know.
Yeah, it can get really kind of. It feel bad.
It's discouraging to say the least.
That's the word, discouraging. Yeah. Because it feels like it's an unfair comparison, but it is one that it's hard to not. It's hard to avoid making. Is like, oh, I put in a lot of work and I feel like I got better, and then I still like the results haven't changed. But
well,
like
see,
you mentioned, the gap is so big.
Yeah, and like, while the results don't change, while like my record is still 0-2 for the tournament, you know, like I can tell that I played better, you know, like maybe while the set count was 0-2, or like maybe I won a game, you know, or like maybe it was
stocks.
like, yeah, and also like I kind of take into account which players I'm playing at these tournaments, you know, because like I can't tell you how many times I paired against Shadowhawk round 1, you know, like
right. It's that context kind of helps out a little bit.
I think multiple Wombat Wednesdays have been Shadowhawk into Erg, and then that just feels bad.
That works. Oh, okay, that doesn't kill. it's the fart taunt.
Yeah.
The yes fart.
The yes fart.
Yep, he gets asked a certain question and he says yes. Okay, I'll try Fox again a little bit. Because I want to try to get a little more, kind of honed in on the defensive options. Because what you said earlier actually I think has a lot of merit. It's one thing to know like, oh, I'm kind of like going to the same one or two habits. It's another to be like, well, I need something else to do here.
Yeah. And you said that like when we were playing our test friendlies the other day, you said like you might have like 2 options that you know to go for, but like when those 2 options don't work, you need like a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th.
Right. So defensively, there's just kind of the limited options out of shield make that a little not as set in stone, because like your out of shield options are up B, jumping, or like purely defensive like rolling or spot dodging. But if you kind of expand your concept of defense to like prevention in addition to like physically out of shield,
Yeah.
then you have stuff like, oh, fade away bear, or fade away aerial. You know, fade away aerial. Like, how do you hold your ground with like? Maybe you can nair in place? You can full hop nair. You have, especially with Wario's aerial drift, you have so many options with which to like position yourself in minute way as opposed to like a big way. No! As soon as I saw that. That was kind of wild. I didn't get hit. I air dodged successfully.
You did air dodge successfully, but did not work. The same goal was accomplished.
I dodged the waft. So when you think about it, That's the biggest brain thing you can use air dodge for. You dodge in the air. It's a Sakurai intended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the same kind of defensive, kind of proactive defensive things apply across the cast. Obviously, you're going to have less air drift pretty much with anybody that isn't Wario.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the same, like, oh, my goal is to, like, prevent the opponent from moving. Oh. Or to prevent them from hitting me with a thing that is scary. No. So, like, Falco Laser is a great defensive option for that. It's also really good in general and offensively. But, because all Falco Laser does is stop you from moving. It doesn't even, like, hurt you. Hardly. Like Fox, full hop drill can be considered defensive. Because, hey, you know, it stops you from moving. It threatens that space.
So, like, what you're saying is, like, using a move, like throwing out a hitbox so that it covers the space is, like, a defensive option that is also, like, it's an offensive option that is more for defense than offense. Like, technically, throwing out a move is technically an offensive option. But if I throw out this back air, you can't really approach that space.
Right.
You know?
It is saying, hey, this is mine, get away. And you give up stage for it. There's a cost. Sometimes the cost is me being bad at spaces. No! No! Sometimes the cost is me being very bad at spaces.
You don't have to keep playing spaces if you don't want to. I just, like, I said it because, like, the high APM characters are just a problem matchup for me.
Gotcha. I do want to kind of try to play, at least in that style, if not those characters explicitly. Some of these PJs are great.
You gotta use the OG ones, though.
What are the OG ones?
Those ones.
No, these are green. I made a blood contract years ago, Anthony.
Alright, that's fair. I mean, I guess if you didn't play Earthbound, then I guess you don't have to.
Oh, yeah, I definitely did not play Earthbound. Yet. Oh my god!
It's a fun game. I recommend it. Which is probably something you'll never hear again from someone who's played Earthbound.
I've seen a basic synopsis of 3, and man, it seems sad.
I haven't actually played Mother 3. I've only played Earthbound.
Dude, we got angles?
You got magnet recovery, and you got angles. You're like a Nest main already.
Oh, they got angles.
Got them angles.
No. But yeah, that concept of kind of like, you can hold space, and that's a defensive thing to do. Or you could use, for example, that same back air. You could use it like offensively. Like, oh, if I cross up your shield and try to hit you with back air, what are you gonna do about it, right?
Yeah.
He's so short. Okay. It does not move fast enough for that to be easy. Good, duly noted. Oh, you mean Jose V? Jose V mode?
Getting bullied?
That's what I said. Jose V mode. Yeah, I don't know the magnet stuff. I feel like that's not a good example. Who else? I don't know a lot of Sonic stuff. Oh, DK is pretty straightforward in that sense. He can threaten the grab, which is very high risk, but his other options are also strong, so it's not just the grab like Icy's are.
Mm-hmm. DK's a bigger body, so my moves will actually connect.
Let me home. Let me go home, Wario. What is happening?
I don't know why I did that.
That's not how his legend works. Okay, good to know.
See, I thought I've been I thought I've been being a good boy, save my jump, you know, I can recover like that, but no, doesn't work.
Not quite.
See, that's what I'm saying. I saved my jump.
You DI'd out on a very strong move. That doesn't help. Such a silly tech chase, because if you don't DI out, then you get hit by the F throw punch, or not the F throw punch, but oh no, then you get hit by the Nair. That was some wild hitbox interaction.
Always is.
Okay. So what I'm going to try to do is basically try to get you to stay in place with the big hitboxes, and then get to play the like strike throw game as Donkey Kong, who has really damaging options out of that.
Hmm.
It's truly the worst available option to me out of that throw. Stop that. Stop punching me in the nuts.
I just want your money.
You can attack other locations upon my body if you want my money.
It's close to the wallet, right?
I guess he only has pants, yeah. That's fair. No! There's no background. He's fine. See?
I think this is the first time we've gotten Wario Land.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? You've been playing for a minute too.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have the right idea, like, when it comes to stages, and I feel like when you pick in stages, it's kind of mostly up to personal preference. But, like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes my stage picks are definitely not, like, optimal, you know?
Yeah, there's... A lot of it is personal preference, but there are also some stages that certain characters want to avoid or go to based on, like, what they're good at, what the matchup what they're worried about in the matchup.
Yeah.
So like, if you're worried about grabs from DK, you probably don't want to go to FD.
Yeah, I basically never go to FD, but I was watching a Sosa set one day. I think he was playing Lunchables, and Lunchables went Tink, and Sosa took him to FD, and that was a little interesting, just because like, I don't know. I guess Toon Link can use the platforms almost as well, if not better than Wario.
A lot of it is because he can just jump between them, and it becomes really hard to do anything about. And his conversion off of the bombs is really big, if he chooses to leave that option open.
Yeah.
So it's like even if Wario doesn't really love FD, it's like, okay, deal with this. What on earth? What? That doesn't hit you? But yeah, even if Wario doesn't really love the stage, it becomes this like, okay, well, what do I dislike more? Like Tink having his stage, or me having a stage that I really like? And a lot of that is also, a lot of that can also be player specific. So like, oh, maybe Tinks that won't commit to this kind of stuff, I don't need to ban Wario Land against them. But maybe Tinks that do, I would want to.
Now that is just something that you can't get without 10 years of experience, or like a significant amount of experience. Like, I'll never know, like, based off of, like, I'll never know someone's play style unless I've played them, like, for more than a set, you know?
You can infer a lot of things by watching people. Also, the numbers can infer a lot of things too. So like, even at playing as Roy or Marth, Lunchable specifically, his win rate. Let's go. His win rates on platform stages is way higher than FD, Green Hill, and even probably, I would assume, Smashville. Because he, as a player, he uses platforms really well. So when you see him, like, I'm sure you've seen sets of him on PS2, where he's doing this insane, like, if he jumps up and wavelengths onto a platform and fast falls off, he wavelengths, like, the perfect frame he gets through the plat. He fast falls, like, the first frame he's off. He's always got a hitbox out. He's always moving immediately.
Yeah.
So it becomes this like, oh, this player has convinced me. Maybe not this set.
And I think, you know, that is probably more of like a general fighting game skill, like figuring out someone's play style. And I also haven't played a ton of those, so like, it's definitely does not work to my advantage. You know?
Yeah, those kinds of skills can definitely carry over. Because at the end of the day, it is like, oh, I think I expect this person to do that. And fighting games usually require a little bit more of that than most games.
I mean, yeah, it's like, it could be mostly a mind game at some point, you know? I mean, especially more than like, I mean, the games I typically play are like single player games, so definitely not, you know? But like when you're playing like Call of Duty, you're not like trying to figure out the opponent's play style, you know?
Yeah, there might be like small situations where that comes up, but it's not like a common thing to be like in a gunfight because you just die so fast.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, based on our prior history of encountering around this part of the bridge on Nuketown, I think he's gonna go left. It's like, no, he has a gun. He's already behind me, or I'm already behind him.
Yeah. In the past, I've also had struggles with struggles against sorties too. And I think that might just, I feel like that's just a Wario thing, but like, I don't know. I saw the Wario matchup chart that like people created in the Discord, and it's like,
he clearly wins the matchup 80-30.
but like, people people say like Wario is like either even or like slightly favored against like Marth and Roy, and like Ike he has a harder time against, but like for the most part those sorties are like pretty even matchups for him, and I'm just sitting here like I stubby arm like
Yeah.
like how am I supposed to get in on like a Marth swinging his sword around, you know?
Part
And the
of
same
that
thing
can
with
be
like
kind of working backwards. So like those Discord matchup charts, obviously they're a compilation of opinions, and matchup charts in general are very like, oh, I think that Wario is a six, is advantage against Marth, but you can work backwards. So like, oh, let's say those three sorties, right? Oh, what are the main differences between Marth, Roy, and Ike? Well, Marth and Roy are pretty similar, and then their matchup chart was kind of similar in terms of their movement. Maybe Ike quick draw is a problem, or his recovery is harder to hit. Or maybe Marth and Roy's recovery is like one of their biggest common points. Maybe that's a weak point that Wario can kind of exploit, and you can work backwards from that. So it is, especially if you're relatively new, a lot of kind of learning is going to be about putting like stereotyping things and being proven wrong.
Okay.
So let's say Charizard, right? You're like, oh yeah, I've heard Kais is really good. I don't know what Charizard does. We're hopping in a match with Charizard. It's my round one. Shit. Okay, what is Charizard doing? Charizard's staying on the ground. I can't dash. Charizard's dash speed's pretty good. Okay. Maybe Charizard's, grab game is important. Okay. Charizard's flying up here. He can do that. Okay, he's stalling me out on a platform. Like, it's just it's a working knowledge. It's never perfect. So you kind of just gotta, even for people that are, unless you play the match, like, most people never even reach one matchup of that level of knowledge. Purely because, like, most people don't play in the same conditions that much. Like, I'm up that matchup knowledge against Lucario because I played against Fearless every weekly for literally like 3 years. We played at least 2 sets because grand finals.
Yeah.
But most people don't have that same kind of consistent experience. So like, hey, that's one more thing, right? If I get hit Charizard out of Glide, his resources are kind of low. It seemed like you couldn't make that back. Or like, oh, I died there to down tilt confirm at like 80. Maybe I need to DI away on down tilt.
Yeah.
Like, I remember playing against Strongbad, one of the first Warriors I played against in a tournament, and I died to down tilt fart and then jab 2 fart. And, like, you gotta kind of accept you're just gonna get hit by stuff at first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the best you can do is go, oh, okay, I have to DI jab 2 away. Or, oh, I gotta worry about down tilt, and I gotta DI that away at kill percent. Or when Wario has waft, or, you know, anything like that.
Mm.
Or like I played against Chevy, or no, not Chevy, Morse Code at Locher City, and he kept grabbing me at like 80 and charge shotting me, and it's like, oh, this is a problem. I'm dead when he does this, so I need to figure something else out. And to an extent, that never truly goes away. For a very long time, that's almost always going to be true. So the best you can do is kind of like try to get comfortable with that that ability to learn, to adapt and go, oh, okay, that was, you know, I got to worry about maybe super wave dash or down tilt outside of CC percent.
Yeah.
Or combo breaker nair. So it becomes, it's a perpetual learning experience, which is kind of the cool thing about fighting games, especially Smash.
Yeah.
But it is also kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. Sometimes you just want to play and be like, no, I don't want to learn, I just want to play.
Bunga bunga. Am I right?
Yeah. And also there's just, like, if every time you boot up PM, you'd be like in the learning mindset, there's some days you just won't want to play PM.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I think that's the thing about like taking a game more seriously. Like the first game I actually like went to tournaments for was like the Pokemon trading card game, and like I definitely had those days where like I really did not want to play, but like I needed to prepare for this tournament, you know.
Yeah, you need to get in your practice against the meta decks, against like, oh, what are the common tech cards?
Yeah, yeah, and like there's a lot of intricacies between like matchups that like you don't like. Sometimes it's better to like attack with a different thing that's like not typically what you're gonna do, you know. Like there's a lot of like little things like that, and like I felt like I was doing pretty good with that, but then like quarantine hit and I don't know, it just wasn't the same without seeing the homies, you know.
Yeah, so much of competition is personal.
Yeah.
At least in 1v1 games, like TCGs or fighters.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm not playing Team Liquid, I'm playing Mango, or I'm playing, you know, I'm playing HMO4, and he's his strength cannot save him. So now I have to worry about what to side deck.
Yeah.
And in that same kind of way, the analogy isn't perfect. It's not like you can side deck knowledge, but knowing a little bit about something can help you get started. So like being able to put people in that box, or put characters especially in that box of like, oh, Martha and Roy have very similar movement attributes, but Roy falls faster. I'm very experienced in the Roy matchup, so maybe the edge guarding is similar. Maybe there's some other similarities I can like lean on. Maybe I gotta worry about down tilt and fair. That's in common. Maybe the grabs aren't that great, and I can shield for a little longer. And if you go in kind of trying to draw a parallel, then you're proven wrong, you very quickly understand what is different, if that makes sense.
I can see that, yeah.
So like in that same kind of that TCG way of like, oh, you were expecting I don't know what's good in Pokemon. But being like, oh, you were expecting Fanfi, and now they're bringing out like Caparaja. You understand every difference between those two decks now.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean by that.
So then from there, that lets you start kind of basing your game plan around like what is actually different, and then you can just keep what isn't. You know, you can keep what's the same. You're like, oh, I played a ton against Lucas. I know character go fast, hit buttons. Maybe that can help you kind of assess risk reward. Be like, oh, I know that against Lucas, like another character that move fast, press buttons, getting locked down is kind of the disadvantage. I don't want to be in that position.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, trying to be preemptive against other fast characters is the play. No.
Let's go.
Okay. You want a power shield? We can power shield today. I say as I have a reflector. We're gonna power shield. Air quotes. No, my taunt.
That's another thing that makes Mewtwo a boss character. He has taunts on everything.
He has one taunt move. You have one taunt move.
Yeah, but like, he's got a taunt move. He's got float. You know.
That's not a taunt move.
I don't care. Okay.
You're making 2 points at once. He definitely has a lot of things that are like, this is new. Like the ability to teleport and then act out of it, let alone teleport. The float is like a different rule than just Peach's float.
Yeah, because you can just go up.
It's great. Yeah, you should try it sometime.
I tried playing Mewtwo.
I got the egg.
Damn it. I almost had it. I tried playing Mewtwo, believe me. When I first started playing this game, I tried near everybody. But I mean, Wario
You
just
stuck with
stuck with
Wario?
me.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I mean, like,
look
you
at
could
him,
say
though.
that.
Look at
I
his-
mean, look at the drip. I mean, like, how could you not like?
Look at
how
his
could you not
face.
pick him?
Look at those
Yeah, right?
testicles under his mouth. But yeah, it's a lot of learning new matchups on the fly is like knowing what your character can do. So like for Wario, contesting characters that are horizontally very quick or faster than you at least is kind of on you as the slower character, especially as a floatier character. Whereas like, let's say who's a character that falls fast but is slower horizontally? I guess Falco.
Yeah.
So like Falco, if he has to contest, not counting gun, he can, you know, like put the hitbox out and then like fast fall. Where it's not as big of a commitment versus like Sheik or Samus, they put the hitbox out with their nairs and then they're kind of stuck there like this like.
Yeah.
So in that same kind of way, for characters that are either faster, slower, or somehow give you as the Wario player trouble, you kind of need to have a ready thing to go for. So maybe like, oh, fast fallers are almost all horizontally very quick and hard to deal with.
No.
No, come back!
I wasn't paying attention.
So, but because they all fall very fast, they usually have a very similar like recovery, or at least they're vulnerable to the same kind of edge guards, where you just get them below stage height and then just tap them once. It doesn't matter with what, just with whatever has the most active frames.
Yeah.
Yeah, your grab is also insanely long range, which is a kind of a defensive benefit.
Pivot grab is a stupid amount of range, and I just need to get better at like hitting that, because I end up doing like a dash grab, like a reverse dash grab, you know.
Oh, like as if you're dash dancing.
Like, when I mean to do that, I end up doing like what is it? I guess I'm just doing it now.
I think I know what's happening.
Like that.
Where you get standing grab.
No, like that.
Sorry.
Like I get like that, right?
Yeah,
Whereas I'm trying to do that, but
oh, I see. There's actually
like
a reason for that. That's not a technical error. That's a knowledge thing. So, you know how you don't see like Falcon running up to you and then running away?
yeah.
There are two states basically to horizontal grounded movement, not counting walk. There's dash, where you can still dash the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's run, where then you get your turnaround animation, your little skid. And that's where you get the pivot, the brawl, what they call it, brawl pivot grab a lot of the time. The turnaround grab here, which is really, really big.
Yeah, the turnaround grab is like I don't know if it's with every character. I think it is, but like the hitbox on it is stupid.
Yeah, it's huge. You're also moving backwards, which helps. So for Falco, this is kind of wild because he's very far away from where he's actually grabbing here. But the good news is this is a mechanics thing. So when you dash, you get dash grab.
Yeah.
And this usually has more grab boxes like in the middle because you're dashing at someone. So the idea is like, oh, you're not going to dash through them unless you just really go too far.
Yeah.
And there's standing grab, which is, you know standing grab. It's a good old standing grab. After a certain amount of frames of dashing, it's character dependent, but usually I think the shortest at Sheik is like 12 and Mewtwo's 19 at the highest, so after about a quarter of a second or so of dashing, if you turn around, you get that skid, that turnaround animation. That's where, if you press grab, you get the, that's where you get the turnaround grab.
That's the one that's this one. But when I...
See, but when you're still in the dash state, if you press... Here, let me show you something. So, do you know how pivots work? Melee pivots?
No.
Okay, so when you dash dance, there's a frame every time when I change direction here where I can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's pivot shield. That's pivot standing grab. Where it becomes a standing motion. So sometimes you'll see players... Hell, sometimes you'll see players even do this. They'll like dash and then simply pivot. And just do nothing. It's like kind of a spacing tool. Or you'll see them... Actually, I don't know how to do tilt stick in slow-mo. Oops. Yeah, or like dash, pivot jab. Basically, when you pivot this frame right here, you are grounded, and I'm currently facing to the right, and I have all my options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Cloudburst is saying in chat, a lot of sorties will do like dash away, pivot tilts. You see that in Ike, you see that in Roy a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's basically a way to space your tilts. I don't think I can do it in... I've had people to do it manually. Because I have tap jump off.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see people will approach with pivot tilts, up tilts that are like really good. Oops. Up tilts that are really good, but hit in the back.
Mm.
Oh, I can't. I'm not super consistent at it. But it's a mechanics thing. This turnaround grab. So the reason you're getting pivot grab sometimes, pivot grab being this one, where it's a standing grab.
Yeah.
And then you're getting this grab. Oops. You're getting the other grab sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a timing thing. Basically, two pivot grab, or like pivot F smash or anything. Sometimes you'll see players pivot back F smash. It's a one, I believe it's a 1 frame window to do anything. Oh, the hitboxers are still here. That's funny. Versus the turnaround is more lenient, but it is a slightly later timing.
Gotcha.
So sometimes you'll get that, that turnaround grab where you have sliding momentum backwards. Then sometimes you'll get that, just like in place pivot grab.
Yeah, that's the one I like typically want to go for, just because it has like ridiculous range.
Yeah, it's the sliding one.
But then I just end up inputting like it's almost like the difference between like a B reverse and a B turnaround. You know, like I mean, I guess like when I go for the like I'll go for it and I'll get like the well, I guess not there because I'm not dashing enough, or I'm dashing too much, I guess. But it's almost like I'll get the reverse dash grab, whereas I want the pivot grab, you know?
Reverse dash grab. Okay,
like dash grab is that, right? And I'll want to go for like I want to go for a pivot grab here, or like I want to go for a pivot grab here. So I'll go for it and I'll get the dash grab, whereas I want this, or I want
the other one. That's because you're grabbing a little late to where you've already started dashing the other way.
Yeah.
And there's a window in between. Where it's after the... So to kind of correct your terminology on a few things, because this terminology is ridiculous. It's not a you problem, but it's just... It's not future-proof. So when people say pivot, they mean the like in-place melee thing. Because in melee, you couldn't do this. You couldn't do actions out of like run turnaround.
Gotcha.
So when you want this grab, people call that run turnaround or brawl pivot or turnaround grab. Versus pivot, which is like where you stop, you lose your momentum. And yet they're very different tools. So like one defensive tool, for instance, against spacies who are like coming in with moves, those horizontal attacks, is to brawl, like turnaround grab, brawl pivot grab. You run back to kind of change your space, and then the turnaround grab makes it a lot easier to punish them, and it makes them less likely to kind of go for that angle again. So here, I'll back up a little further. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump, and when I land, I'm going to nair at you.
Okay.
So try to dash to the left and turn around grab me.
Yeah.
It takes a little getting used to.
Yeah. I was almost dead.
Yeah, the good news is because you're dashing away, you're usually a little safer.
Mm-hmm.
You did the right thing, that was just early.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal. It's kind of hard to time with two people.
Yeah.
But this is the basic concept. Because it's hard to punish even if you miss the grab, or either you mistime it, or like you're a little too far back. It's very hard to like catch you after you've already backed up.
Okay.
So you'll see a lot of people who, especially PM specific players versus melee players, they will actively like dash backwards and then turn around grab things.
Yeah, I could see that because like the range is just so much different. Like I think it like have you seen the hitbox for the Wario pivot grab?
Not directly Wario's, but it's not just Wario. Like Kirby's
it's
pivot
everybody,
grab is obscene.
Yeah. it's like one feather on Falco's like hand, you know, like like that you're catching the pivot grab with.
Right. It'll
You
grab
know?
to like probably here-ish as he's backing up too from the momentum. Which also, you'll see a lot of times. You'll see some characters will like want to run through, and then get like very quick back throw to kind of like mix up the eye.
Yeah.
So you'll see like Ness sometimes, especially at like higher percents if you're near the ledge. The normal problem is like, oh, Ness's forward throw doesn't kill, and Ness has to kind of be back facing to kill. Well, if Ness does this, then for lighter characters that's really hard to react to.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes like oh, now you need to worry about what direction you got sent. How dare you? How dare you do this to me in this manner? No! Nice. But yeah, that's a little bit of like the mechanics of like why that's happening.
So I'm getting the like the dash turnaround grab that.
Yeah.
Because I'm dashing for not a long enough time, or I'm running for not a long enough time.
There's two things. So let me kind of take it from the top as an overview. If you get the pivot grab where you don't have any momentum, you were just a little too early on your grab. If you get the like dash towards your opponent grab, then you were too late on your grab.
Yeah. Okay.
Because even it's still in the dash window where you can dash dance, you can still do the turnaround grab, the brawl turnaround grab.
So
it's just that like when you go into the run state where you can't dash dance anymore, you can't dash back the other way, so you can only turn around if you press left. You can't pivot, you can't dash dance. So that if you're in the full run, that's the only kind of grab you can get is either the normal running grab or the turnaround grab.
Gotcha. So just to be clear, right? That's the right timing.
Sorry, we check it.
It's all good. So that's the right timing.
Correct.
That's the right timing.
That was the right timing.
And of course now I can't get the wrong timing.
It's all good. It might help
That's,
to because
that was too fast, right?
That was the wait. Do your standing grab for me real quick. Okay, so what we're looking for standing grab is that really horizontal thing. Yeah, you're getting the right timings on these. It might help to go to a character that has very different grabs, and I have just the character for that. If you want to practice this, we don't have to do anything fancy with him, and he's right next to your character. This dude's grabs are very
I think this was a good session.
How could you do? Look at how cute.
Tell me to play
is.
Yoshi.
No, I'm saying if you want to practice this, Yoshi is great.
Yeah.
Because his grabs are super distinct. So his standing grab, super slow, also super laggy. So you know, oh, that's a cool shield. So you know, like that you got standing grab. Running grab, he like falls over, and the pivot, the turnaround grab, he does not. Also, side note: if you ever watch Yoshi's, they do the pivot grabs all the time because
the other one's so laggy.
Standing is awful, yeah. Running grab is at least fast, and the down throw reward is very high. But this is a very safe, very powerful combo starter. Is that just pivot? Brawl turnaround like into down throw possibility.
So this is the standing grab.
Yeah, if you
You,
can't
like,
move for 2 seconds, you got the wrong one.
You do like the wind up, and then that's the standing grab. That's the right one.
Yeah, where
That's
he
a
doesn't
dash.
fall over.
So if I get the right one, or if I get the dash, that means I'm going too fast or I'm going too slow.
That means your grab is too slow.
Okay.
So basically, can you turn debug? It's LR down, right?
LR down, yeah.
Okay. So, just to kind of from the top, so the dash dance, right? Get dash. I'm gonna press right on this frame. Now, if I hold grab, it's the pivot grab. It's the standing grab.
Yeah.
Versus if I do 1, 2. This one is the pivot. That's the dash.
Yeah.
So if you do the pivot, you're the exact same frame, which is bad. If you do the dash, you're still a little too close. I think I had it backwards initially. Versus, wait, hold on, where's the? Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I misunderstood this slightly. So the pivot is like the exact same frame. The dash is a little too late. The actual correct timing for this is to grab and then press back.
Really?
Or at least there's a timing. It might be a 1 frame thing. Let me see. That's a timing that works. These noises are really cute. Another reason why practicing this with Yoshi's the best. So if you think of it as like the button and then the stick extremely right after, it's a lot easier.
Regardless of how cute it is, still have to deal with this big nose fuck.
But Wario, my dude.
Yoshi's nose is significantly bigger. Come on.
That's a high bar that I don't think matches.
Do you want to? Yeah. Do you want to play a couple more games?
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, let's just do Mewtwo. The trick is that like Mewtwo doesn't really pressure in the same kind of like high APM way. He does kind of stick to your shield, which I think might be similar.
Okay.
Don't keep DIing to the side.
Okay. What do I do there?
So there, like, if I'm gonna follow you up, you can just DI on stage because I can't.
Oh, wait, you're Team Aqua? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. This is a rad skin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Team Aqua is so silly because it's like, hey, our goal, hella water. That happens.
Yeah.
Like, wait, we fucked up, guys. We fucked up. We can't breathe in water.
Yeah.
Somebody should have tried to stop us. If only there was some child.
Yeah, right.
With way too much free time on their hands.
Yeah, at least Team Magma. At least Team Magma just wanted to make more land, right? Oh no.
Alright, so step 1 is to not DI back throw off stage.
See, like, typically I just think to do that so that I can, like, get out of the combo, you know? But I guess that's not the right thing to do against Mewtwo.
Yeah, Mewtwo, and for some characters that can lead into edgeguard sequences that are kind of scary. If you can get to ledge, that's good. So like that Wario down throw, you'll notice that your opponents want to DI that to ledge.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean, yeah.
But if you can't
like
get to ledge, don't DI off stage.
Yeah, like if I'm like on the ledge, like if I'm like here and you go for back throw, I'm gonna DI that inwards. But if I'm like I don't know if I did that right.
Yeah, you just DI. You basically DI to survive, even at low percent where you're not going to die.
Yeah.
Because this throw doesn't send you low enough for you to even feasibly get to ledge.
Oh.
Like there, you definitely DI'd at least a little bit away when you didn't need to. Wario's heavy enough to where you shouldn't be hitting Blast Zone off of Mewtwo back throw at the 100 after the throw.
And I guess like I feel like when you get footstooled like that in the middle of a combo, it's kind of just like BM. Is there a way to like counter that? Like can you like tech the footstool or something? Like I don't know. Like,
so if you're grounded, no. So
like
once you get so there's two things. Once I footstool you, you are in you are in stun for like however long you're in stun. You can't wiggle out, you can't mash out, you can't shield until you can shield.
Yeah.
So if you want to see how long that is, I'm gonna footstool you and then hold shield. After I footstool you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
The reason I'm doing this here is because the best follow-up on stun at pretty much any percent on disable is down air. But down air is like frame 16 or something. It's kind of slow. You'll notice footstool is frame 1.
Yeah.
So it seems like BM, but it is also literally just like it has enough stun to link into down air. So doing footstool first just means my window to do down air is bigger, because if someone's really ready for it, they can mash out before the down air comes out.
Yeah. Because I was playing silver at the tournament that I was telling you about, just in some friendlies, and he kept like doing this like almost I think it was like wave shine into footstool like down air or something with Fox.
Okay.
I don't know. It seemed like some BM because like he was just like washing
Unfortunately,
every
no.
game. You know?
It's harder. Like you could just get wave shined. And
Well, like the wave shine, I know that like it just happens.
right, you got to STI that to make it harder, but it is possible.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard. I don't know if you can do it. So after I shine you, hold shield. If you do it right, that is a true combo. Let me see if I can get some, like a running shine. No, don't move. I'm so bad at this. Basically, you can get it to be a true combo, and it has unique applications. So, like, you can drill for more percent if they're not going to SDI.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. What you just did there.
Alternatively,
Like
there's another really interesting thing about this for Fox. Let me see a little more percent. Is that... Oops, sorry. It lets you do double up air. At some percents where up air and up smash won't kill directly, so like shine, up smash, kill move, like kill confirm, so easy that I can do it. Like it's not like super taxing, but right around like even at a low percent. Oops. Like the short hop footstool into falling up air, really good combo starter.
Yeah.
Like I missed an up tilt and almost got the hit there. It's really, really solid. It's just hard, so you don't see people doing it a lot.
Gotcha. And I think that's like why I thought it was BM, because like it's hard, you don't see people doing it a lot, and like I guess I was not doing the right things to combat it, so I was just getting fucked by it.
It is just kind of like a way you die. Kind of like how, like, yeah, I could DI to where that's harder. But also, it does just work. It's just a variation of the wave shine. That it also is harder to SDI. So normally, especially as Wario, you're a very high traction character. Normally, your counterplay to getting wave shine across FD is to just like, mash left and right while holding shield.
Okay.
So like here, I'm gonna shine you and then hold shield and mash left and right. Or it's not left and right, like a direction, like either left or right.
Yeah, like SDI.
Yeah, you want to SDI basically to make it to where that's as hard as possible. Because it's like Peach and Mailer. Otherwise, they just do this forever. But if you're SDIing left and like, if you're SDIing a lot, that doesn't care about your SDI. Because the footstool puts you in the same spot every time. No matter what your opponent is doing on their control stick.
It's so weird trying to SDI when you don't hit the shine, because then I just double jump because I'm spamming my control stick.
For shine specifically, you want to SDI left or right, not up. Oh yeah, good. It's a good thing to talk about. Do you know how to dual stick SDI effectively?
Not really, no.
All right, I'll give you a really easy way to practice this.
Okay.
We'll just go to Wario. Technically, it's also easy to practice with Snake, because that'll help you with your ledge attacks. You just put a mine. I'll be Snake and I'll show you. You can just put a mine at the edge, up B into it, and then try to attack the ledge. Get to control. Can you move? Okay, great. So, a way to practice SDI. This is all the way back from Brawl, too. This item.
Oh, okay.
And then you basically say like, oh, hey, I want to make it all the way horizontally through it. You know, whatever goal you want to set for yourself. And the way to dual stick SDI effectively is, it's kind of hard to verbally describe. Let me see if I can pull my controller up. So if you have to have a direction in mind. So let's say I want to go up on this smart bomb, right?
Okay.
Now I'm at 200%, where I'd send me kind of far. What I'm going to be doing is SDIing with one stick to the top left, SDIing with the other to the top right. Because if they're too close, the game doesn't let you get both, basically. So if I were to go only up, then it's a little less consistent. Additionally, you want to actively kind of like wiggle the stick. So let's say your goal is to go straight right to get a fox up or up air, right? You would want to wiggle one stick between like northeast or between northeast, and the other between southeast.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, wait, so I wanted them in opposite corners. Or, well, wait, no.
Not opposite corners. But if you want to go right, you want the combination of those directions to be right. But you can't make them just both right, because then the game doesn't see both of them. It's like, oh, this is too close.
So if I want to go east, then I mash northeast, southeast.
Yeah, let me actually get my pen open. Peep the stream real quick while I.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Because this is really easy to visually see with a pen. Less so when it's just like verbally talking and looking at a stick. Where's my pen? There it is. Okay, so here, let's spread out so I have a lot of the screen. So, if you want to go, oh, this is weird. Don't move. This is already weird enough. If you want to go this direction, what am I drawing? I can't draw on this game. That's bunk. Why is this? That's weird. Let me open a new notepad then and just put that over the game. What? There we go. Okay, so if your goal is to go right, that's the goal. Then your sticks, to my understanding, your sticks need to be basically this direction and this direction, because then they combine to get the direction you want. The reason we wiggle the sticks between the top right corner and the top, or the bottom right corner and the bottom, is to get more SDI inputs of the top right.
Yeah.
Because humans, it's going to be more efficient to like do that than just like try to repeatedly like
go left and right constantly, or like go from like, right to neutral every time. Yeah. So I see. I understand the concept of SDI, but like, not knowing like where to SDI is the issue for me. You know.
Yeah. A kind of cheat sheet is a lot of multi hits. So let me go back to normals.
Okay. I just wanted to try the smart bomb again, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, we can do smart bomb for sure. Because that actually you can SDI pretty much any direction you want. You got Wario on a random. That's wild. I missed Wario. Okay, wait, why did I unpause even? You can't move while I'm doing this.
So... oh, wait, I was doing...
Sorry. I can throw these at you if you want.
Yeah, sure.
So try to like get out of the smart bomb and get over here.
Almost.
Here, try to go left this time.
Yeah.
You see how it trends up?
Yeah.
You need to be using the other stick to go the opposite direction. So that way when you're like going between up and up left, you don't actually go higher than you want.
It's so awkward.
It's like, really weird to get used to. But it's super useful. And then additionally the ledge tech thing. Basically you just put the mine here. Does that not work now? Oh wait, no, there's the item that's a motion sensor bomb.
Yeah, the motion sensor bomb.
That's not close enough. You basically... oh, I think it's on... you can do this in a Hyrule... or sorry, not Hyrule, on Temple very easily. Where's Temple in this build? Page 2? There it is. Ready, go! So if you want to practice ledge checking, this is a ledge. So what you do is... motion sensor bomb... no! You get a motion sensor bomb.
Suicide mission.
The first
suicide
time.
mode, yeah.
Put it right there, and you practice. We gotta go in a tumble first. It's really wide over there. We gotta go in a tumble first. There. This is definitely tumble now. There's just nothing there. So to tech the ledge, you basically... it works with Wario recovery as well. If you're riding the... damn it. If you're riding the wall, you have to SDI into the wall and then tech.
Yeah.
It's easier when you're riding the wall and not jumping into the bomb attached to the wall.
Gotcha. Can you just throw that on the wall and then put my percent at like 80?
Oh yeah. Get you enough to where this will definitely tumble by like 60 some odd.
So I'm gonna want to go.
Oops. Damn it. Why would motion sensor bombs not get thrown very far? Shit. That's like... where is that? Oh, it
was in the grass,
oh my
yeah.
Lord. There you go. So
Alright,
from below, so from like right here, you're going to want to up B into that, and then just be ready to tech it. From below, like pretend like this is the edge of the stage.
All right.
Oops, shit. Why are they so awkward to throw?
I know what to do though. I can practice that. Like that's probably really easy to save state.
Oh yeah, if you're using save state as well, that's much easier.
All right. I do have to get going soon. Do you want to play like best of 5 and call it?
Absolutely, hell yeah.
All right.
All right. Do you want a more aggressive character, or do you want my me to?
Whoever you feel like playing, but
do Falcon then. I SD with Falcon. Well, okay, SD, but I'm like, I can pilot the character. I just make bad decisions. Whereas with Spaces, it's like, it took me like 5 minutes to wave shine you. No, my legs. Why do they have to be so early? I'm at like 20.
Worth it.
Be mindful of what moves you're using at CC %. At least the bigger commitments like that. Because like you hit that. I don't even think I CC'd, and I still just ran up and grabbed you for it.
Yeah.
Wario grab has some range. Get me out of here.
No shot. I thought I was gonna grab the ledge.
Well, you return to the left, so you can't grab ledge when you're not facing it. Without a move, at least.
Gotcha.
That's especially a fun setup because even if you do something and the footstool isn't like a real footstool, I just get out because I still get the jump. Oh, I didn't grab ledge. Let's go. Falcon kick. Kill confirms.
The triple Falcon kick.
This character's so much fun.
See, part of me wants to play with tap jump off for like situations like that where like I'm trying to just do an up B and I accidentally burn my double jump while I'm up B or like while I go for it, but I like playing with tap jump for like getting off of the ledge fast and like going for like an invincible aerial,
Oh, I hadn't thought of that use for it. I kind of have a tendency to kind of like do a little weird claw a lot of the time.
Hmm.
Let's go. You can kill my body, but after that tech, you cannot kill my spirit.
No, I can't.
That was a clean sequence, though.
I thought I was gonna tech, but I accidentally neutral air dodged. Alright. I guess I get a counter pick, right?
Yeah. Oh, if you want to counter pick something not in the yeah. I'm the page 2 master.
I mean, if you want to play page 2, then come on. There's only one stage to pick on page 2.
You're a man of culture, I see.
Dude, this is the best stage.
Oh no.
This stage is so janky.
I don't think there's just a straight edge for like half of these.
I feel like the concept for this would be a really cool legal stage if it was just like FD when there was no drawings, you know, and then there's just like random drawings that like change the platform layout, you know. I think that would be pretty cool, but sadly the stage and the blast zones are all fucked up, so
This truly is a war crime of a stage. Ah! The slope to the edges makes it really weird too.
yeah, and like there's no indication of like where the bottom is, you know. Like I've definitely like just been like way too far off stage, and then all of a sudden I'm up being back to ledge, you know.
Let's go!
I won't let it happen.
No! That was truly the most atrocious DI. You won't let it happen, you say?
I will run off the stage before I let it happen.
Shit.
No.
I'm the master of jank. You can't defeat me in my home field territory.
Yeah.
It's this slow.
It's funny. Alright, I want to show you one more thing, and then I really have to go.
For sure, yeah.
So, it's this game mode that I came up with.
Okay.
I call it SWAT. So I want you to just pick Pit, okay?
Oh my god.
And then go to 1 HP. And then just make a tag. You can change this one. Just change your grab, your attack, and your C stick to special. And you can play with tap jump on or off.
Tag and C stick to special. So it's only special, there's no grab, no attack. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
And then one more thing.
Flight mode?
Yep.
Absolutely. I've seen this with Falco. It's a lot of fun.
With Falcon?
Falco.
Oh,
With
Falco.
with neutral B, yeah.
I mean, see, in this game mode, it's perfect for Pit because, like, you have the side B, which is kind of like an evasive option, and you have the down B, which is just like a straight up counter, and then you have the up B for the melee kills.
For the really cheeky ones, yeah.
Yeah. But I do have to get going though.
Gotcha.
I like playing that, but nobody ever wants to play it, so.
Hit me up. I'm not always in the mood for like net play, but if I am, I love playing wacky stuff.
Yeah. You can play some crazy stages on that mode too. Like you could just play like Poke Floats or there's a big blue Z alt that is just like a platform, just a single platform flying down the road. It's so funny.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for booking.
Yeah. I will we'll be in touch for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. I know that it can be kind of frustrating not having that knowledge to draw on. So if you ever like, hey, what the hell does like Ganondorf do, or something, just hit me up.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much.